Tonight, I wish to reflect upon a profound concept repeatedly emphasized within the Qur'an, a term that Allah, exalted is He, calls our attention to time and time again because of its immense spiritual consequence. It describes a condition of inner negligence, a state in which the heart drifts into unconscious living, moving through existence without awareness of its higher calling. It is not physical sleep, but a deeper slumber of the soul. A person rises each morning, fulfills routine obligations, studies, works, eats, converses, and rests, only to repeat the cycle endlessly, convinced that the visible world is all that exists. Days merge into months, months into years, and life becomes mechanical. Rarely does such an individual pause to ask, why was I brought into being? What lies beyond this temporary realm? What does revelation demand from me? What does my Creator expect from this borrowed breath? The universe stands before them in breathtaking precision, yet contemplation is absent. The Qur'an was revealed as illumination, yet it is often neglected. The 5 daily prayers were ordained to restore spiritual vitality, yet many rush through them distracted, delay them carelessly, or abandon them altogether. Desires dictate priorities. Worldly ambition becomes supreme. The heart that was designed to seek eternity becomes entangled in immediacy. When a human being first enters this world, fragile and unaware, there exists within them a natural disposition inclined toward recognition of the divine. Though knowledge is absent at birth, the innate essence quietly asks questions long before language forms. In moments of distress, without philosophical training or theological debate, people instinctively lift their gaze toward the sky. Regardless of culture or creed, when fear overwhelms or hardship descends, heads tilt upward. This reflex is not accidental. It is embedded within human nature. Even a child, staring into the vastness of the heavens, senses wonder and mystery. This inward compass directing us toward transcendence is part of our creation. Yet as distractions multiply and comforts expand, that instinct is gradually muffled. The pursuit of material success begins to overshadow existential reflection. Allah warns in the Qur'an that following the majority without discernment can lead one away from the straight path, because the majority often measures reality only by what is seen and experienced. Spiritual heedlessness, therefore, is not ignorance of information, but neglect of purpose. It is to live without remembering destination. It is to move without awareness of accountability. Allah repeatedly cautions believers not to fall into this state of forgetfulness. Do not be among those who live as though existence is confined to birth and burial. Do not allow the heart to become numb to revelation. The Qur'an reminds humanity that the appointed hour draws near. This nearness is not quantified by numbers on a calendar, but by the fragility of life itself. Years vanish with astonishing speed. One moment youth dominates the horizon, the next, decades have dissolved unnoticed. Aspirations remain unfinished, plans incomplete, ambitions suspended. Suddenly, time expires. The Qur'an describes people who remain absorbed in diversion, while revelation reaches them continuously. When verses are recited, they listen absent-mindedly, their hearts preoccupied with fleeting amusements. The Lord who nurtures, sustains, and guides sends reminders out of mercy, yet distraction prevents transformation. This worldly life is described as swift and transient, a passing enjoyment. Just as rain revives barren earth, divine remembrance revives hardened hearts. The Qur'an penetrates where nothing else can reach. A heart anchored in trust toward Allah becomes alive again. Dedication to daily communion with the Creator realigns priorities. When the tongue utters words of glorification sincerely, when the eyes observe creation with reflection, when gratitude replaces entitlement, the soul begins to awaken. There exist individuals who carry remembrance into ordinary routines. They earn livelihoods, attend studies, raise families, and navigate responsibilities, yet consciousness of Allah accompanies them throughout. Before eating, they recognize provision as a gift. After finishing, gratitude flows naturally. Each action becomes tethered to awareness. However, others recite sacred phrases without mindfulness. They pray yet remain detached from the meaning of their movements. They complete cycles of prayer, unable to recall what they recited or how many units they performed. Forgetfulness occasionally touches every human being, but persistent absence of focus signals deeper negligence. Worship must be inhabited, not merely performed. During ablution, one should remember the prophetic teaching that sins fall with each drop of water. During bowing, humility should soften pride. In prostration, closeness to Allah should be felt with intensity. For the Messenger, peace and blessings be upon him, described it as the position nearest to the Lord. Divine commandments are never arbitrary. Every instruction carries benefit beyond immediate perception, and every prohibition shields from unseen harm, for Allah is most caring and most loving. Moments of forgetfulness will occur. This is part of human nature. Yet there are practical means to cultivate consistency in awareness. First and foremost is remembrance in its comprehensive form. Remembrance is not confined to vocal repetition. It involves the heart's reverence, the mind's contemplation, the tongue's praise, the eye's guarded gaze, the ear's selective listening, the hand's righteous action, and the feet's purposeful movement. Looking with compassion upon parents, spouse, children, or even a thirsty animal can become an act of devotion when intention is sincere. Hearing words that uplift rather than corrupt aligns the ears with remembrance. Thoughts themselves carry weight. The Prophet, peace be upon him, informed us that intending good yields reward, even if circumstances prevent completion, while restraining oneself from sin out of reverence brings merit. Divine generosity multiplies good deeds far beyond proportional measure, whereas wrongdoing is recorded without excess. This balance reflects mercy. Secondly, engagement with the Qur'an must be regular. Recitation, even if limited to memorized passages, nurtures the spirit. For those still learning pronunciation, effort itself is rewarded. Understanding meaning, even briefly reflecting upon a few verses daily, transforms reading into dialogue. Thirdly, companionship matters profoundly. Surrounding oneself with individuals who remind one of Allah safeguards faith. Even a simple exchange of greeting with sincerity strengthens spiritual bonds. The world is never devoid of those who seek righteousness. One must actively seek their company. Fourthly, attending gatherings where Allah is remembered, whether in a mosque or elsewhere, invites divine mercy. The Prophet described assemblies of remembrance being encircled by angels who report back to Allah about those present. Even a passerby who sits among them inadvertently shares in blessing. Such environments cleanse hearts subtly, yet powerfully. Fifthly, supplication must extend beyond requests for worldly gain. Dua encompasses worship, gratitude, confession, reliance, and intimate conversation. It is the language of dependence. Consistency in the 5 daily prayers forms the structural foundation of faith. Neglecting them fractures spiritual alignment. Night prayer, though voluntary, exerts transformative influence upon the heart, carving sincerity into the depths of consciousness. Finally, reflecting upon mortality is not morbid pessimism but sobering clarity. Remembering what awaits after death recalibrates ambition and restrains heedlessness. Through these practices, awareness can be sustained until the inevitable meeting with Allah. The path is not reserved for a select few. It is accessible to any heart willing to awaken from spiritual slumber and live deliberately in remembrance rather than distraction.